Yo, we're back at it with this VR mining and tree chopping code along using Unity 3D. The last video we created a character using the XR origin for our player, and this character is linked to our Oculus Rift or VR headset. In this video, we're going to create a custom character using Blender and MakeHuman so that the game feels a little bit more realistic and we have actual hands. Let's get right into it. Now, to get a realistic representation of our hands in our VR game, we're going to have to switch over to Blender to get a human model. And obviously, by have to, I mean to follow along with me. If you guys have your own models for your hands or whatever, you guys go ahead and put them in. The actual tutorial, which I have a link to, uses Maximal, I believe. Well, they have their own models and they have access to that model, so you can use their model or models you create from MakeHuman. The reason why I use MakeHuman, which is a Blender plugin that allows you to create different type of characters, is because it allows you to create different type of characters. It's vastly customizable, and it gives me a little bit more control over how my characters look. It does well for RPGs, you know. So let's go ahead and go to Blender, and that'll be right here. And my version is 3.5.1, but just get the latest. And so for MakeHuman, in the past you would have to download another software for MakeHuman, but now there's a Blender plugin. So if you click in this arrow that was on the side right here, you can see the MPFB version 2 plugin, right? I click that. I have all my MakeHuman options right in Blender. You guys are going to want to get this plugin, and to get it, I have a link in the description, and that link will lead you to a video that will give you step-by-step instructions on how to get this plugin, right? And once you follow along with this and get the plugin, however you get it, then come back and you can create your own human character models and have them rigged as well. Or you can find another way to create a model, and then once we're back in the Unity part, follow along from there. But now, once you have your MakeHuman plugin installed, you can come back and we're going to start from right here. So my plugin is installed. I'm going to press A to select everything, X to delete, and delete it all. I'm going to go to the plugin, create new, and then I'm going to go from scratch. For here, you can pick whatever you want. Create your own character. For this tutorial, you'll only see the hands, but the way this is set up, you can set it up to have your whole body. It's not like the hands are only there because the whole rig is not animated, is because that I think it's a little bit easier, and I don't want to deal with all the clipping and hiding of body parts for first person versus multiplayer, all that, any of that. So for me, just having hands that have IK joints for the elbow and the shoulders, and like fingers working is good enough for me. But you know, we'll follow through and have the whole body rigged as well. But anyways, go ahead and make this whatever you want. I'm gonna go with a male. I'm gonna go with, they only have old, young, child, baby. They don't have like just normal, so I assume young is their normal. And we're gonna go to average, everything average, but they have a lot of options. It's really cool actually. Erase universal, leave all this how it is. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and click create human. This creates us a little human model, right? Now we can go ahead and start setting him up for different things. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. We're done with the new human. Now we go to model. This is where you can fine tune your model and really get creative. You can change the arm length, the size, make one longer. You see how like it changes the arm, very customizable. Oh no, 0. There we go. But I'm just gonna keep everything at the default. You guys can play around and really customize your arms for your character and everything. And specifically for this use case is pretty useful because our main thing we'll see is our arms. So being able to customize them highly and quickly is important. You can have even as you gain strength or some variable as strength in your Unity game, your characters switch out to having stronger and stronger arms. So it's cool how you can customize everything, and you can really customize everything. Anyways, we're gonna go into, we're not gonna change any of this because I'm just gonna keep everything the default how it is, at least for the phenotype stuff, or at least for the model stuff in general. But then we're going to go to apply assets, and this is where the important stuff comes in, like clothes. So we're going to go ahead and get him some clothes, and since this is mining and kind of tree cutting, we're going to go with kind of like a farmer look. Oh, before we add any of these clothes and any of these, what are they? God, I hate the scrolling. These assets, we need to first add our rig, and for our rig we go to rigging, add rig, and here we're going to, from this add standard rig thing, click that and go to game engine, and then add standard rig. You could use the other rigs too, but this has like good enough bones for me to manage in a game, and this is all we really need. So this is fine, but you guys can use the other rigs. I believe they also have maximal rigs, but yeah, we're gonna use this one. And now that we have our rig, we can go back to apply assets and now apply our different assets. First thing first, clothes. I'm gonna load that in. Now we have a shirt and boots. We're gonna go ahead and press Z and switch to material view. And so the clothes are colored in, but the skin is not. Let's go ahead and get the skin in. For the skin, we're gonna go to skins library, and you can pick whatever skin you want. One thing I find funny is they have a universal race, but they don't have a universal race skin. So I don't know how that works, but we'll go ahead and find, I don't know, whatever. Made to be just bald. So, and I'm not gonna put a hair on him. So we'll find one of these skins that look good bald. Not that it even matters, because we're not going to have his head being shown yet. Dude, I can't find. Let's try the young Asian male. Yeah, this actually looks pretty good. Because you see, like, kind of looks like hair, I guess. But okay, now that we have the skin in, you can go ahead and, you know, pick through. It's pretty cool, and you can import more stuff, which is another interesting thing. But we have the skins. We'll add eyes, low poly, eyebrows, eyelashes, just all of it, not hair though, because all their hairs look horrible. So basically teeth we loaded in and tongue we loaded in, right? We skipped the hair, added eyelashes, eyebrows, all of it. Now he actually looks like a legit human. Look, we made a human. Now, oh, okay. Now that we basically have all this stuff set up, that's all we really need for this, at least for now. In the future, we will need to make animations, and maybe it'll be better just to do that now. But at least for the MakeHuman part, this is about it. Actually, there's one more thing. This will make everybody's life so much easier. One thing that's important to do, and this is specifically to get this character imported to Unity, is to make sure that the skin is baked or as an actual texture, which it seems to not do. So we need to go to create assets, we need to go to make skin, click on the actual character, and create material. So that'll make our character see-through, which looks, whoa. Yo, bro, your eyes floating in there, G. But he'll be good. We'll fix him. Now let's go to the up here. We'll go to, I think it's not this shading, right? Yeah, here we go. Nodes. So we'll go to the shading, and we have to go ahead and go to diffuse texture. And in this, we have all of our textures that we're using. We go ahead and scroll down to whichever one we want to use, and we'll be using the light skinned male. Go ahead and click that. Okay. It's because he has hair, okay? That's all I'm saying. Anyways, so we'll use this, and then now we have our skin back, which is important because he doesn't look like he just have floating eyeballs. Won't scare everybody. Now that we have our skin back, we need to make this model work for displaying only our hands, so that our whole body doesn't display. I don't want to deal with any of our body showing on our camera, like any of the back faces, any of that clipping stuff. It's a lot easier just to break this model apart. To do that, we are going to go ahead and click this, his clothes piece, and this is an approximation, so don't be worried about getting too kind of particular with it. So go ahead and whoa, what just happened? Okay, press Z, stay in material view. If you click tab, you switch between edit and object, right? So we were an object, I clicked the shirt, and now I'm going to click tab, and all of his vertices are showing, right? All the little points that make him up. Click Z and go to wireframe. Now you'll see his whole body. If you click, I have my keyboard set up, right? Or I have 1, 2, 3, 4 keys, and this should work for mostly everybody. But if not, you go to settings and just set up your emulation of these. But if I click 1, it shows my front view, and you can also do that from going to view and then right here you go to viewpoint, and all your views are right here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and click 1 to see the forward direction of him perfectly, and once I'm in this edit mode, I can click B, and I'll make a box around everything but his arms, basically, and that will select everything. So I'm gonna do B, it's box select. So you want to roughly select everything that isn't his arms. We got everything. Now once everything is highlighted that we want, we press P to separate and click selection. So we missed some no, that's from the other part, I think. No, we missed some stuff. Okay, so since we missed some stuff, we're gonna press Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Just backstep everything, go back into our front view, and then select everything we missed. Make sure everything is perfect. Yep. And now we press P and separate the selection. Okay, and I did that weird grabbing thing by pressing G, and G grabs in this. So alright, so that's separated. I'm gonna go ahead and press Z and go back into material view, and you see you don't even really notice that cut, but it's separated now into 2 separate pieces, which is perfect. Next we're gonna click on the body, which is its own thing, go ahead and go back into that front view, press tab, and now we have to do the same thing. Press Z, go into wireframe, and select roughly everything except the arms, and try to match the selection from the selection before, but again, it does not have to be perfect. So I got his whole body basically except his arms, leaving his arms, and yeah, I'm gonna press P to separate and click selection. That will separate the selection. Press tab to switch back to object mode, press Z and switch back to material view, and everything looks perfect. Alright, everything is working fine. Now, one more thing I want to do is import a T-pose. So we go here, back to our MakeHuman settings. We're going to go to create asset, go down, go to make pose. Where is the T-pose? Oh, okay. Why is it not loading? There we go. Okay, you have to first select the rig. Make sure you select the bones in object mode. Once you have the bones selected in object mode, we can then go to load pose, and you can load the T-pose. So you go to rigging, load pose, and you see T-pose. You click load the T-pose, and now your character is in the perfect T-pose. Makes it a lot easier to work in game because your wrists are like perfectly set up and everything. Okay, so we have the T-pose set up. Our object is separated into hands that can hands and body, so we can show only the hands or show the body and the hands, whatever we want to do. I believe that's everything set up for the Blender part of this, which is not actually bad at all, huh? Now we need to import this to Unity. To do that, and to make sure we get the textures, we need to export this as an FBX in a specific way. So first of all, let's save the file. We're gonna go ahead and save as, and I'm going to save it in my Unity project. You guys can save it wherever you want. Alright, I'm in my Unity folder. I'm gonna go ahead and click new folder and call this my meshes, and I'm just going to save this in that folder as, you can name this character whatever you want. I'll name him minor character. No, that's not right. I'm going to name him Farmer Bob Care. Okay, we can go ahead and save this project. Now we need to do the export. We're gonna go ahead and click File, Export, FBX, and we'll have this whole pop-up come up. And where we want to export this, the settings we want to do is over here where it says path mode. We're gonna go ahead and click go down to copy, and then this thing where it says embedded textures, we're gonna activate that. That way we can extract our textures and apply them in Unity. Okay, so I'll keep the same name, and I'm just going to put this in the same spot because it doesn't really matter for me. But I'm going to change the name to export. Okay, Farmer Bob character export. Makes it a lot easier. Oh, go ahead, export that, and we should be good to go for the Blender part. We might have to come back, actually we definitely will have to come back to do some animation stuff, but we might have to come back to tweak some setting stuff. For now, we are done with the Blender part, and we are going to go ahead and move to setting up the IK hands and all the IK stuff to make this a little bit more realistic, a little bit more of a realistic experience in our VR game. So we're back in Unity, and we can get started on getting our hands working, our character working in our VR setup. So I created a new folder when I was exporting from Blender called My Meshes. I go ahead and click that, and here my two new FBX models are. This one is the save car. Yeah, this one is a save file from Blender, which actually behind the scenes Unity exports into FBX automatically, but this is the save file, and this is our actual export. It's called export, and this is the model that will have our textures on it. So this is the one we're going to be using. Let's go ahead and click him and set his character stuff up. So under model, everything is fine. We'll leave that. Under rig, we want to change that to humanoid and click apply, and that way we'll create a avatar from this character's rig. And for animations, we're fine. We'll do that later. Now this is important. When it comes to the textures, we want to come to this materials tab, go down to textures and extract textures, and here we'll create a folder called Bob textures, right? Excuse me. And we'll go ahead and select that, and now click save for all of his settings we just changed. We click Bob's textures, and we have all of his textures right here, which is perfect. And for each of them we need to create a material, but an easier way to do that is go back to my meshes, click on Farmer Bob export, and go ahead and click extract materials and click Bob textures again. We'll go ahead and save the materials and the textures as well. Save, and then here we go. We have a bunch of materials for our character and his textures. Let's bring our character in. We're going to click my mesh and go ahead and drag the character in, and make sure the character is set to 0, 0, 0. So just reset his transform. Alright, now that the character is in, we can see him, but the color and the textures are not there. Let's go ahead and start applying it. This is for the eyebrow, which is right here. You can see eyebrow. We'll go ahead and drag its texture onto the base map, and the eyebrows are applied. This is for the eyelashes. Apply it to the base map. Oh, another thing that's important is this isn't actually going to look right. You see how it's all messed up? And the way to fix that is just go to your texture. Let's start with the eyebrow and change this from surface type opaque to transparent. And that looks like the eyebrows. So that'll fix that. Do that also for the eyelashes. Low poly is the eyes. Now the eyes are interesting because in Blender you would have to create a eye texture and then apply that. For some reason from MakeHuman I can't get the actual texture to bake and get the actual texture for it. So just import any eye you want, any eye texture, and match it to the UVs of this in Blender, and then you can export it in the same way. I won't show that because we're not even going to have the character's face really showing. But the eyes aren't going to be that hard if you know how to use Blender and MakeHuman. And if you guys really need help with the eyes, just let me know and I'll create a short video on it. Okay, so we'll leave the eyes how they are. And now this is for the suit, so we'll take the suit and drag it into the base map. We don't need to change its surface type. And now for the shoes, we'll take the shoes and drag it. For the teeth, we'll take the teeth in. For the tongue, put the tongue in. And now for the skin, which should be this right here, we'll put the skin in. Perfect. Everything is working expectedly. Now if we open the farmer up, we can see that the hands are separate from everything else. When we go down, we can see that the suits part is separate. So we can actually, well, we'll do that in the future, but we can actually turn off this whole body and just have the hands displaying. That's what we'll do in the future. But for right now, while we're setting up the rig, it'll be easier just to actually be able to see everything. So one thing we'll do is turn these like gizmos off, so we can actually see what's going on. And this is how our Unity character is looking right now. No eyes, and yeah. But let's go ahead and add a ground to this before we do anything else. Cube, name it ground, and what we'll do is change the size to 100. 100. Nope, not on Y. Well, on Y it'll stay 1, and on Z it will also be 100, and then we will nope, Control Z. We want to reset the position, so just change the positions back to zeros, and we're good. Now on the Y we want to go -1. No, -0.5. There we go. That's perfect. That makes the surface of the ground at 0, 0, which makes sure that our character is standing. Okay, so our character is in, textured. Everything seems fine so far. Let's move on to getting a rig on this character. I'd like to mention that I created a Discord server so that all of you can talk to me whenever you need. If any of these projects or any of my other projects are interesting to you and you would like my help with something else, or just like to discuss and talk about things, please join the Discord server. I'll try my best to be on there, and we'll even host some random talk nights or something. So hope to see you there. Thanks everybody for watching. So this will be the end of this part, and we'll continue this along in the next one. If you guys enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. It would help me out. And also remember to join the Discord if you're interested in having conversations or listening into some of the talk nights. Have a good one. Goodbye.